Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to my channel for another Hot Toys 1/6 scale Marvel Comics figure unboxing and review. Today, we're taking a look at Doctor Doom. Now, I got mine at a discount from Pop Collectibles. I've popped a link to their site in the description, along with the discount code Justin's Collection, for 5% off your order if you decide to buy from them. As always, do your own research, make sure you're comfortable before buying. If you're heading down to the description, why not hit that subscribe, bell notification icon, and join button so you're notified as soon as brand new Marvel Comics content goes live. This is a pretty cheeky move by them because, we've all seen the concept art at this point for RDJ as Doctor Doom in Avengers Doomsday. He looks very similar to this. So for a lot of people, this could very well be their MCU Doctor Doom. I'm going to use mine as such, at least until we get an official one, and even then, this could still be the best 1/6 scale Doom there is. As for the box art, kind of looks like a comic book cover, and I am so here for that. We've got an image of Doctor Doom up front, another one in the little corner box, his name up top, and the artwork is done in both a high gloss finish as well as a satin finish for the background. This video is brought to you by Justin's Collection.shop, the home of the figure first aid kit, as well as other accessories to help your collection be the best it can be. The first aid kit contains multiple tools to help you with maintenance, styling rooted hair, and much more. We also sell crotch grabbers, soft rubber tips to prevent damage, and they're compatible with most modern Hot Toys base molds. Acrylic risers come in multi-packs, they're optically clear, thick and sturdy, and stackable. Check out the link to Justin's Collection.shop in the description. On the side of the box, a bunch of comic book panels just blending in with this gradient green background and his name in the middle. Then around the back, normally I'd say all of the boring stuff because it is warnings and legal information, their store locations, but behind that, we've got a Doctor Doom symbol and a bunch more comic book panels. Me not being the biggest comic book reader out there, I've read a few of them, but nothing specific to Doctor Doom. Him being the main antagonist in Avengers Doomsday, it makes getting this piece now, before the movies even come out, before we even have a trailer for the darn thing, that much sweeter. On the slipcover, multiple images of the figure himself. Speaking of the figure himself, first in-hand impressions for Hot Toys Doctor Doom. So far, so good. His cape is threaded through the clam tray, so watch out for that, but there's a decent amount of weight to this. He's not a die-cast release, but he doesn't feel cheap and lightweight either. What we're going to do now is get all of his accessories laid out in the light box and take a closer look at everything he comes with. Starting off with the display base first, which is actually one of the highlights of this set for me, and I was hoping it would be. It's a small, compact little thing, brand new base mold, but it packs a punch in terms of sculpt and paint and detail. Let's talk about sculpt and paint first. Big, chonky Doctor Doom nameplate, the letters are 3D and raised. There's this gunmetal, but a really dark, gross-looking gunmetal finish to it. It almost blends in with the finish for the rest of the base, but it's shiny enough versus the matteness everywhere else that it does stand out. Multiple different layers of paint for speckling, there's this sculpted rough texture, and a black wash in the crevices. Then the gargoyle has this warm hue to it, so it's more visually distinct versus the rockwork or the concrete for the rest of the base. You can remove the gargoyle if you want, but it doesn't stick out too far past the front of the base, so I don't think you should have any issues accommodating this base depth-wise in the display. Functionality. Flat platform, heaps of room to pose Doom on this base, step up the back if you want him to be perched on it, and you can move the crotch grabber from here to here. So either this or this can be the front of the display base. In my collection, I'm probably going to go with the gargoyle, but the fact that they give you the option is a stroke of genius. They've been doing this more and more recently, but now you can move the crotch grabber and this, the banner, you can swivel this around to make sure that it's in line with whichever part of the base you've chosen to be the front. Fabric banners, decent printing on them. Then we've got the D logo up top for Doom, and the wings with sculpted feathers painted in this shiny metallic gold. On the rod that piece is connected to is proper die-cast metal. I seriously like that base so much, I cannot wait to get it again with Batman Returns Batman. And the benefit of having two different versions of it now is I can switch that gargoyle for the Max Shrek cat head if I think, when I try it, that gargoyle looks better on Batman's base. But that's for a future video. These effect pieces, they're reuse. We got them first with Return of the Jedi Emperor. They were terrible then, and they are just as terrible now. They look okay. Translucent plastic, lighter green up top, dark green towards the ends, but because they're this really thin plastic, they droop down and they just don't look good. They're these flaccid lightning effects. They aren't convincing at all, so no, I will not be using these. At least you get two of them, I guess. More effects, these are significantly better. They look like reuse from Scarlet Witch. They aren't. They're brand new sculpts. They look very dynamic the way they curl around. They're translucent plastic, more vibrant green in the middle versus the ends of these bits. This is one of the special edition bonus accessories. It's the Darkhold. There's two hinges. It opens up. There's printing on the inside and different covers front to back. That skull looks fantastic. There's this sculpted line work, a reddish-brown dry brush on one side versus a silver dry brush on the other. Is it the same Darkhold as the MCU one? It's similar, but a hell of a lot bigger. I don't think we've received this Mauser-style pistol from them before. It looks kind of Star Wars-y, like the DL-44. That's because this was the gun the DL-44 was based off. Silver dry brush over the gunmetal makes it look quite realistic and weathered. Then there's a black wash over the handle pieces. The other special edition bonus accessory is this Doctor Doom mask in the middle. I'm not sure it's my favorite of the three. It might be yours, therefore you have to go with the special edition, but you get two other ones. If you miss out on this, I don't think it's the end of the world. It's pretty similar to this one. The eye holes are a similar shape. The nose looks almost identical, but the detail work for the mouth is different, and the rivets are a lot smaller. I reckon this is like a classic looking Doom, whereas the other two, they're more modern. I'm leaning towards this one, super modern versus the rectangular eye cutouts, but we need to try all three of them out on him, and we will do that a little bit later. There's a shiny metallic finish to them, black wash in the crevices, and some brown speckling over the top, maybe, to make them look rusty. And lastly, we get a full array of hands. These, my favorite of the bunch easily, translucent red plastic, the main body of the hands. Then we've got these disc-style Mandela magic effects forming out of them, with some red paint applications. They're kind of pearlescent and shiny, but the fingertips have been painted. These make it look like Doom is using the Darkhold, and yeah, I reckon I will be displaying him with them. I would have liked more hands though. Closed fists, relaxed open palm ones. All we get are the magic effect hands, these fingers curled in ones. One trigger finger hand, which is soft enough you can pry it open and pop the Mauser in there no problem. And two fingers splayed out open palm hands. We really needed more Hot Toys. The detail work on the inside of the palms reminds me of Iron Man, kind of Repulsor-esque. I'm not sure if that's what they were going for, but that is the vibe that I'm getting from them. What we're going to do now is get Doctor Doom himself out here. Standing straight up and down in the light box, no crazy poses or accessories or anything like that. Holy shit, Hot Toys cooked with this. Doctor Doom has never looked this good in 1/6 scale. This is peak Doom right here. He is aura farming to the max. Head tilt forward. He's got the hood on. He's got the cape behind him. The chrome, shiny, metallic silver armor plating with the weathering over the top. It's a simple design, but they've added a few embellishments here and there to the armor, and it just works. Then you've got multiple options for the faceplates, and a surprise, a very interesting choice for the material for the undersuit. That means we can leave this bad boy in dynamic poses, which I never thought was on the cards for 1/6 scale Doom. So already, even though it's still early on in the video, I am so impressed by this. Up close and personal, kicking things off with Doctor Doom's head sculpt, and what a head sculpt this is. Look at that eye poking out from underneath the shadows, and he's got moving eyes, which we're about to get to. This is the first of the 3 faceplates. I like it, but it's a blend of classic and modern. I prefer going one way or the other. This is the special edition faceplate, pure classic Doom. It's a lot smoother. There's this grill in the mouth, the triangular nose, and the rectangular eye cutouts. But my favorite of the 3 is this one. It's the most modern, and it feels the most mean. Something about the shape of the eye cutouts and how angular everything is, the mouth as well. This is the faceplate that I'm going to rock my Doom with. And you already saw it, but underneath the faceplates, there's a sculpted balaclava, some skin texture and detail, but it is never meant to be displayed like that. Removing the head sculpt, we may as well look at the finish on the helmet while we're here, then we'll get to the eyes. Shiny metallic silver finish with this speckling effect over the top to give it some more grit and texture. I like to have him looking straight forward because of the shadows the faceplate cast on the eye socket areas. If you have the eyes looking off to the side, which is doable, then sometimes you lose one of them in the shadows. That might be the look you're going for. It just comes down to posing at the end of the day. Okay, it sort of works even with the shadows. If you want to have him looking straight forward, a handy tip, I hope, is make his eyes slightly too far apart, more wide set, because once you pop the faceplate on, it tricks the eye into thinking he's cross-eyed, and nobody wants that. So going back to the standard faceplate with the side eye, yeah, you can see the eyes a lot better there. The hood is wired around the front, but not over the top, and I sort of wish it was wired over the top because it has a tendency to ride up. You're going to have to spend a fair amount of time getting it to sit down properly. Oh, Hot Toys, you always struggle with capes, and this one is no exception. I like the fabric they've gone with. It's thin, it's lightweight, it drapes well, but it's 2-ply and it's not stitched at the bottom. I can put my hand inside the cape for some reason. You may as well have wired the bottom, Hot Toys. They've wired the edges. There's no wires in any of the pleats up top, just the edges. That's it. If you're going wired, just commit to it. Do wires along the bottom as well, and then also include a drape cape. Give us options, please, Hot Toys. At least, if you don't like the look of the cape, if you don't like how the cape works with Doctor Doom, because those wires are kind of annoying to deal with, you can ditch it, then plug this piece into the ports around the front, which is kind of tricky to do on camera. There we go. The real metal chains up front. Doom, 100% displayable without his cape. We may as well leave it on there just to complete the look. All of the sculpted armor pieces are plastic. There's no die cast here except for the chain and the pole on his display base. They're shiny enough, they look like they could be metal, and they've got that gritty speckling texture on them, just like what we saw on the head sculpt. The shoulder pads are attached with Velcro, whereas most of these other pieces you can move around and adjust. The undersuit. When we first saw the prototype pictures of Doctor Doom, I would have sworn, I would have put money on it, that this undersuit was made of rubbery plastic, rubbery fabric, that screen-printed, terrible stuff to work with that would have meant we couldn't have left Doctor Doom in dynamic poses. No. This is some kind of woven fabric mesh, so we can leave Doom in poses. There's nothing on this suit that is going to get stressed out or damaged when you're posing Doom dynamically. This is a figure that I thought was going to be a shelf queen, but now that I've got him in hand, I'm pleased to report you can pose the shit out of him. Like, even the tunic is full fabric. There's no wires in it, but it drapes just fine. There's different layers of fabric for the darker green sections. It looks visually interesting because of the panels and whatnot. Then we've got the chain and these circular bits, but you already know that. The belt. This is not pleather, I don't think. It smells, it looks, it feels like genuine leather. The rough backing, that is a dead giveaway that this is the real deal. Not to mention, like I said, the smell. This holster is functional, the top flap is magnetic, and you can pop the Mauser right in there. The belt buckles, sculpted plastic, there's some intricate detail work there. Some switch out buckles would have been neat to represent the different eras of Doom, but customizers out there, I'm sure they'll be able to cook something up. Coming down to his legs, the skirt, getting that out of the way. He's got some crotch armor on, then that woven mesh fabric. His body is metallic silver underneath the mesh, so it's not like there's skin tone poking through or anything like that. The leg armor is big and bulky, yet it moves quite freely for articulation. You'll see what I mean in the articulation segment. The boots have this multi-segmented, plated look to them, and the same thing goes for everything. There's different sculpted details from plate to plate to add some more visual interest, with then that rusty speckling effect over the top and some gold shading in certain places. Is there sculpted tread on the underside? I mean, maybe a little if you count these sculpted rectangles. Just before we move on, this is one of the only head sculpts in my collection that works with this eye position. It's creepy, it's crazy, but that's perfect for Doom. The magic effect hand went on super easy. It's a soft PVC plastic, and having it be translucent, light passes through it, kind of making it look like it's glowing. I was just resetting Doom for the next shot, standard hand back on, also his eyes looking straight forward. I wanted to show you what I meant before about having his eyes be more wide set. Without the faceplate, they look too far apart. When you pop the faceplate on, it equalizes everything, and now it looks the way it's supposed to. For a quick side-by-side comparison, I know Doctor Doom is more than just a Fantastic Four villain, but I would have liked to have had some of those Fantastic Four First Steps figures in the collection to compare to this Doom. Here we have him next to Mark 85. They're roughly the same height, and I reckon that's going to make quite a few people pretty happy. Endgame Cap is no slouch in the height department. He's a pretty tall 1/6 scale figure, but Doom with the hood on is taller than Endgame Cap. Going over articulation, starting off with Doctor Doom's head sculpt. Ball joint at the base of the neck, double ball peg underneath the helmet, combined, looking forward to there, all the way forward pretty much. Looking up to there, fighting with the hood, plenty of range for dynamic posing, swivel, and heaps of pivot side to side. Arms will go up to there as the undersuit moves pretty freely. The shoulder pads do not get in the way, going forward and back on soft ratchets, butterfly joint at the shoulder that hinges up and down. Swivel at the bicep, double bend at the elbow, the gauntlet collides with the bicep armor. You can move this stuff, but you get to about 90. Then for the wrist peg, it's a hinge and swivel. Midsection joint and waist joint crunching forward to there, going back to there, pretty restricted, but there's something going on under here that's limiting range. Swivel and some pivot side to side. Leg armor goes up to there, but then there's a crotch plate, so those bits will collide. Legs go forward to there and spring back down a touch. Going out to there, further than forward at least. Swivel at the upper thigh. Double bend at the knee, going past 90. Then a double ball peg for the ankles, good for forward and back, rotation. A lot of this stuff moves along with the foot, and some ankle tilt. Moving on to the 3 cool and 3 annoying things. The first annoying thing is I just can't get around this cape. I tried, but it's 2-ply, it's split at the bottom, it's not stitched, there's no wires along the bottom. Yes, there's wires along the edges, but they look a little unnatural when you use them because there's no wire along the bottom as well. The second annoying thing, and I cannot believe I'm saying this, we don't get closed fists. I could not believe my eyes when I opened the box and saw that there were no closed fists. Doctor Doom, comic book Doctor Doom, cannot be gesturing on top of his display base. He can't be fighting hand to hand with anyone because Hot Toys saw fit not to include closed fists. The third annoying thing is the hood. They always struggle with capes and hoods. There's a wire around the front. It's not enough. When you bring the hood down, you want it to sit like that, it simply won't. You can spend hours futzing with it, it still won't do what you want it to. There's already a stitch line over the top. Hot Toys, you may as well just pop a wire in there because then you would be able to pin it down. The first cool thing, I don't think they mentioned this in the pre-order announcement, but I'm 99% sure the belt and the holster are real leather because they certainly smell like it. The second cool thing is this is possible. It's probably completely inaccurate, but if you want to pop one of the Tony Stark head sculpts, which are one piece with the neck, on the Doctor Doom body, you can 100% do that. Trying to get the hood to look good on this sculpt is a challenge in of itself, but I mean, if you work with it, you might be able to make that happen. The third cool thing, if you cop the special edition, you'll receive 3 different Doctor Doom faceplates representing the different eras of Doom designs in the comics, and you've got moving eyes underneath these faceplates. Wrapping up on Hot Toys 1/6 scale Marvel Comics Doctor Doom, get this Doom. Yes, there's probably another one coming. Movie comes out in 2026, then another year from that, Hot Toys production being what it is, 2027, 2028 maybe, is when we'll get the MCU version of Doctor Doom. For now, this is the best and the only 1/6 scale officially licensed Doctor Doom, and it is a banger. There is so much to love here. The fabric undersuit means you can pose him. The removable cape, you don't have to use it if you don't want to. The display base is such a highlight. The multiple different faceplates, the moving eyes, which they really didn't need to do, but they add so much to the head sculpt. This figure oozes presence. If you want something that's going to stand out on the shelf and is going to represent MCU Doctor Doom until we get that one, I really don't think you can do much better than this. You certainly can't do worse than this. But also, if you don't care about the MCU, if you just want comic book Doctor Doom because you've got Hot Toys comic book Spidey and Hot Toys comic book Venom and the Hono Studio stuff, this makes even more sense for you, for your collection. So at the end of the video, do I think this Doom is a must-have? For a lot of collectors, 100%. If you could not care less about Doctor Doom, then obviously skip this, but a lot of folks love Victor Von Doom, and this is such a solid release by Hot Toys. And I'm genuinely so happy I got this. Now, I picked up mine at a discount from Pop Collectibles. I've popped a link to their site in the description, along with the discount code Justin's Collection, for 5% off your order if you decide to buy from them. As always, do your own research, make sure you're comfortable before buying. If you're heading down to the description, why not hit that subscribe, bell notification icon, and join button if you like the sound of seeing your name in the end credits of my reviews. Like, comment, and subscribe. We'll catch you in the next video.